This episode is produced and made possible with the help of Raycast Media.
Si le gustaría escuchar un episodio en español, por favor escuche el siguiente episodio.
Good morning, everyone. My name is David Fuentes, and I'm part of the team here at La Incubadora Podcast. Part of La Incubadora Podcast is it's a program here at the Economic Growth Business Incubator, and we're a local nonprofit with the mission of providing training, coaching, and support to existing and aspiring business owners who might otherwise face barriers to growing a successful business. This podcast is born out of the need to put in video and audio a lot of the success stories that we see here at the Business Incubator. We also want to answer frequently asked questions, as well as connect our small business owners with the resources they need to succeed in their business, both at your own time and wherever you are, as long as you have access to a mobile device. As always, this episode is produced with the support of Raycast Media, and so we are appreciating Raycast Media for their support and collaboration with La Incubadora Podcast. Now, typically, we use this podcast as a platform to share resources with our community. We also use it to spotlight folks who we feel are, facing towards a path of success and overcoming barriers. And so for today, we have an exciting episode. So the Economic Growth Business Incubator is reaching 20 years of supporting small businesses in the Central Texas community. We've seen many different stories, and we've seen many types of success. And one thing we like to emphasize is that success looks different for everyone, and everyone faces different barriers to grow or start their business. And so today we're spotlighting a client whose journey to success has been filled with those ups and downs, but also with hard work and resilience. Their story is a powerful reminder that success looks different for everyone. And so this client's paths required quick pivoting and important decision making, and it shows the importance of adapting in a business. And so I'm happy to share their experience and highlight how a community resource like EGBI has played a crucial role in kind of easing those initial pain points and connecting them with the necessary tools and support you need. And so I want to join you all and thank you all for celebrating together this unique journey, as well as keeping an eye out for our annual fundraiser called Celebrating Success, where we tell many of these stories and give our clients a spotlight that they from the barriers that they've overcome. And so for today, I've invited Elizabeth Guerrero to join us. Elizabeth Guerrero is a passionate tattoo artist and a beauty expert. From experimenting with permanent markers as a kid to styling friends and family, she's always had a knack for enhancing others' looks and boosting their confidence. In her spare time, Elizabeth volunteers at nursing homes. She offers henna brows, mini facials, and special holiday services. She also enjoys hiking and camping with her 3 children and practices jujitsu, blending martial arts with nature. Now, another thing about Elizabeth is that she's a full-time tattoo apprentice at Savage Tattoos and owns Austin, Texas Tattoos, located in North Austin. Here, she shares her positive experience as a client with EGBI, where she has been connected with financial advisors, marketing experts, and also fellow entrepreneurs. And so please, welcome me in joining Elizabeth Guerrero for today.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Hey, Elizabeth. Nice to see you.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, and thank you for being here on a Monday morning, for taking the time and kind of, sharing a little bit about your story, about your real story, right?
Of course, definitely.
So, Elizabeth, I always start off these interviews with getting a little bit more information about you, about your background, as well as your business, to give you a chance, anything that I might have missed in the bio, right? So, Elizabeth, can you tell us a little bit about your background and kind of how you began this journey as a business owner?
Oh, man. So a little bit about my background. I'm an only child, so I don't have any siblings. I always kind of had to figure things out on my own as a kid. I also, I didn't have my parents around a lot. So my grandma raised me, multiple family members, bounced around home to home. And I always felt like this sense of like, I have to make my own, like I have to make my own path. And ever since I was young, like I always knew I was going to own my own business. Like I took all those little tests in class, and every test was like, you're going to be a CEO of a business. Like you're going to be a boss. And I'm like, okay, that sounds about right. And so, from middle school, like I would go buy discount candy and then sell it at school for like $1. Like in high school, like I would just find little ways to make money. And then after high school, I had tried college, but then I had kids. And so I wasn't able to divide my time evenly and be a mom, and go to school and do the things that I wanted to do. So I took office jobs. I was a move coordinator. And then one day I saw my friend's eyebrows and I was like, oh my God, your eyebrows look amazing. What is that? And, she told me it was microblading. And so I started looking it up. And the algorithm just started throwing like brow training courses at me. And so I took a brow training course and quit my job 2 weeks later. And that's when I started my permanent makeup career, and I opened a salon. It was really tough during COVID and the shutdown, but persevered through that. And yeah, so that's how I started. I found permanent makeup, just trying to find something that I love to do.
Yeah, no, and I think you gave a good example of how like we have all these skills growing up, and then we learn how to apply them.
Yeah.
And so I think that's also a story of, you keep asking yourself, what do I want to be when I get older? And things just kind of fall into place. You find that calling. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you share that, and also like reading a little bit about your bio. Really what you give people is confidence.
Yes,
Right?
I love giving that.
Yeah. No, and so this is also a chance for you to kind of spotlight your business. I know we talked about you have two of them, right? So it's Austin,
Yes.
Texas Tattoos, and then Elite Enhancements.
Yes,
So-
Elite Enhancements. That's my heart, my joy. I have a salon here in Round Rock, Texas, Elite Enhancements, where I do permanent makeup, brows, eyeliner, lips, scalp pigmentation. And then I teach one-on-one courses for permanent makeup, which is where my heart really lies. And I started the academy because I do so many corrections. And there's so many people that come to me in tears because it was done wrong. And so I'm like, how do I fix this problem? The problem is there's uneducated artists that want to partake in a lucrative beauty industry, but they're not doing it right. And so I created a curriculum that just like, I used to also coach soccer. So my curriculum is a little bit like drills and practice and muscle memory and stuff like that. So it's really important to me to do one-on-one classes and make sure that I'm giving the community quality artists.
Yeah.
So people, they come to you wanting permanent makeup to boost their self-esteem and their confidence, not to ruin it. And so I really like my academy is really personal to me, just for that reason.
Yeah, and I like that you brought up that that coaching experience, because then you transfer it, right? You never know when something that you're doing is transferable. And that's a good example of that. So we got to the first part of one of my follow-up questions, which is, what does your business do now? What products or services do you offer through both Austin, Texas Tattoos and then Elite Enhancements?
So Austin, Texas Tattoos, pretty much all tattoos, any tattoos. I love black and gray work. I love color. I love all tattoos. I love just creating something. Just you tell me your ideas and I'll make it happen, right? I'll make the vibe come to life on the skin. But then Elite Enhancements, I do body contouring, so I melt fat, I tighten skin, I do butt lifts, I do teeth whitening, I do permanent makeup, and then I teach all of that as well.
Yeah, no, it sounds like a lot of services that you offer. So thank you for kind of walking us through. Now, we also touched about this a little bit, but for you, what was the kind of the point that really inspired you to start your business? And how did you develop this initial vision that you had for your business?
So I have a lot of friends that, do hair and beauty industry. And when I found out that permanent makeup, you don't need a cosmetology license and I can just
Uh-huh.
skip all the school and the regulations and all of that, and then I can just start making higher end money.
Mm-hmm.
It was a no-brainer for me to take that on. And so I started my classes, and I wish I would have researched my first course a lot more. I spent a lot of money, and I could have picked a better educator.
Uh-huh.
But we all learn that. Everyone in the
Yeah.
permanent makeup industry goes through that. We all learn like, oh wow, I should have cared about my education a little bit more. But that's just part of it. And then um I just really wanted that to work. I really
Mm-hmm.
had the skill for it. I had the passion for it. I like to help people. Um and it was really hard because I was pregnant with my third child at that time, and my ribs started to cut off the nerves in my arms, so I couldn't use my arms anymore.
Mm.
And so it's like, okay, what do I do? So then I had my son. 2 weeks later, the shutdown happened. Okay, so
Yeah.
now what do I
Yeah.
do? 2 weeks later after that, I had major abdominal surgery, like all kinds of stuff from my pregnancy that had happened. And so I'm like, I'm not letting go of this dream. Like, this is what I want
Yeah.
to do. I love to do it. I'm good at it, but how do I do it right now? So I may or may not have turned my garage into a salon. And I may or may not have just continued working, doing brows for $50 in my garage, which is crazy because now I charge $600 for brows and I own a salon. And so thinking
Mhm.
about my day one, like the hustle in the garage, like every time I
Yeah.
got there to do laundry, I'm like, man, this was my beginning.
Yeah.
Um, and so I've refused to let go of it. And every time I made a little bit of money, I reinvested it into my business.
Yeah.
And so every time I got a little bit higher, like I just kept putting into this business, and it's just been so rewarding since.
Yeah. No, no, thank you for that. For me, one of the most fulfilling parts of this job is kind of being able to see people develop this vision. So I've been here for just about 2 years. And so, I've been able to meet clients who are just starting this. They have this very strong idea, but then typically what happens is you have a vision for it, and then you see other areas of opportunity or life happens and you have to pivot and you have to change your vision, or a pandemic hits and you have completely have to change your business model, right?
Yeah.
But the resilience, right? The people that we work primarily with are kind of those mom and pop shops, the people who really do face barriers to starting a business. And something, a lot of places start in a garage, right? A lot of startups start in a garage,
Yeah.
but it takes seeing those downs, those ups, and more downs to, right? Because once you learn that, you know that you can overcome anything.
And anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I appreciate you being so genuine in your story, and why it's important to hear, because there's a lot of barriers, but in community, it becomes a little bit easier to overcome.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Let me see. I have another question for you, Elizabeth. Which I think we part of these we've covered from the previous question, but it gives you an opportunity to expand. Can you describe for me a pivotal moment in your journey where you really had to pivot or adapt this business idea that you had?
So I will never forget the moment. Shortly after the shutdown and, trying to figure everything out, I have a newborn baby. I have two other children. And at that time, my son's father was living with me as well. And
Yeah.
so, as the only one, bringing in the income and having to figure it out, I was like, you know what? I have to do something. I'm a new artist. No one's going to trust me to do this right now. I can't, continue to do this for $50 a browse, right?
Yeah.
So I went and I got another job. And it was a trash valet. So like, like the apartment complexes where you put your trash outside your front door and
Yeah.
someone comes in the middle of the night and picks it up and takes it to the dumpster. That was me. And so I did this for about a couple months and I
Hmm.
hated it. Like I hated smelling like trash. I hated being chased by raccoons and possums. Like I hated everything about that disgusting job. But
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for it because I remember one day I was coming down the stairs and I'm carrying like these heavy things of trash and it stinks. And I see my bumper sticker. And at
Hmm.
that time, my business was called Designer Brows. And I saw it and I was like, what the am I doing? Like, I have a skill and I'm good at it. Like, why am I picking up trash? Why am I
Hmm.
not taking myself serious? Like, I'm good and everyone else that believes in me takes me serious. Why am I not taking myself serious? And like, I always remember just coming down the stairs and seeing that pink bumper sticker with yellow writing. And it was so corny because it was the beginning. And of course, our advertisings are corny in the beginning. But like, I just had to take myself serious and believe in me. And so within a couple weeks, I just started ramping up marketing. I started taking marketing classes. And I just started believing that it was going to happen. And then it happened. And I don't pick up trash anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I
No.
do, but in a tattoo shop.
There you go. No, but yeah, it's right. I think you painted a good picture for us, right? Is sometimes yeah, it doesn't always work out the way that we want to. And then we start making changes and we start
Yeah.
learning and we start educating ourselves. And in your case, you had to educate yourself in your craft, but then also in the administrative part, in the marketing and things that I feel a lot of people when they start a business, they want to focus on their craft solely, but as
Yeah.
a business owner, you have all these overhead kind of administrative tasks that you have to take care of also to be able to grow your business.
And you have to
Um,
be disciplined
that's
to,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
No, good. And so part of that vision, right? That initial vision that you had, I'm sure you had something that, you knew you wanted to do, but over the years changed into something else or adapted. For you, how do you kind of maintain that flexibility while also staying true to your original vision for your business?
Um, so I get that. I get the question a lot from my clients, like,
Hmm.
oh, you're doing tattoos. You're still going to do brows, right? Like it took me years to find you. Like, please don't stop doing brows. And it's like, I will
Yeah.
never stop doing brows. I will never stop helping people love themselves more. And maybe it's vanity, maybe, whatever, but
Yeah.
it helps people wake up and just be a little happier with themselves in the morning. And I'll never stop doing that. Um, and I'm always going to incorporate my salon and, like the passion behind that emotional bond that I create with my clients. Like I'm always going to
Yeah.
keep that. But I am going to grow. So that it's very hard because I am creating online courses. I am ramping up my academy. I am looking for junior artists to train and to handle a lot more clients underneath me so I can focus on teaching. But I also don't want to lose that personal bond and that aspect with my clients. And I think, managing that and keeping like that personal side to it is what helps it stay easy to be flexible like that.
Yeah.
Because they're my friends. Like, you come hang out with me for 4 hours, it's a therapy session, and we're best friends, and we're hugging after that. Like,
Yeah.
you're getting invited to the cookout.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. No, that's a good story, right? And like, you always have that worry whenever you're ramping things up, whenever you're changing things, whenever you're experimenting, which is something that's very necessary, right?
Yeah.
No, so I'm glad you're giving yourself the space to do that, while also recognizing, being surrounded around people that kind of keep you, down to earth. I feel.
Yeah.
Let me see. And so I have another question for you. This one is in particular about reaching out to community resources, because sometimes what we find here at EGBI is, because our services are free for the most part, or low cost, that, a lot of our business owners, the biggest resource that sometimes they can't give is time. And it takes time to do everything. But some people are focused in their day-to-day in their business, that they don't always see the immediate value of going to a class and learning about something on the administrative end. So for you, how did EGBI support you during your journey? And are there any particular resources or programs that you feel helped you most and that actually ended up saving you time?
So I think it's called the 90 Days to Success class.
Yeah.
I loved that class. I actually did not get to finish it. I had some things going on at the salon, but at that time, everyone was so like, they had so much grace with me for having to get out of the class and handle the things. But just for the few weeks that I was in that class, I learned so much about organizing my goals and my strategies.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to take that class again and finish it. I think every entrepreneur should take that class. It really changes your mindset on the steps and like looking at the steps and not necessarily being emotionally invested too much in the steps. And
Yeah.
it was just it was a great experience, and I really look forward to taking that class again.
Good. Yeah. No, for those who don't know, 90 Days to Business Success is meant for those businesses who are looking to grow their business. And so it always starts with goals, right? We believe that one of the most important things that you can do for yourself and your business is to set goals, and also ways to measure your goals. That way you stay on track. Elizabeth, maybe you resonate with this, Elizabeth, but the biggest thing that I've heard from the feedback is the accountability, right? Just kind of having that community where whenever you come together, there's accountability for yourself, which is, you mentioned discipline. I feel that's part of it, right? Is being surrounded by people who have similar goals to you, who are, right, business owners who kind of face similar things, right? Is that question of time, the dedication that they have to their business, but also to their personal things like their family, balancing all those things. So time management is one of the things that was talked about in this last cohort, because I feel really, as a business owner, the business affects all aspects of your life, whether you want it to or not. So it's something that you have to learn how to manage. So I'm glad that you found like kind of like 90 days as part of that accountability partner. So that's a part of what we try to do, is build community, get people together, and also learn together, right? That is a part of our mission and what we're doing here. Can you share some of the challenges that you faced and how you were able to overcome them by seeking out your community?
Of course. I think, again, that class definitely helped me with time management and discipline and recognizing how to set achievable goals, realistic goals, and how to measure when I hit those. Another thing that really helped me is that you guys provided me with the photo shoot for my business and my brand. And I had a few clients come in, and I got to tattoo them while we did the photo shoot and did some headshots. And I feel like that's really going to elevate my marketing, my online presence, my website. I feel like Professional photos really enhance a business's appearance to the public. And that was something that I'm so grateful for.
Yeah. No, we try to do a ton of little things that can help our clients, and like a photo shoot is one of them, right? Like getting all your images together for your marketing. Sometimes that's really hard to coordinate or really pricey. So I'm glad you benefited from that. And
it's hard to take a selfie when you're like tattooing and you're up, and it's like, okay, like and then try to make it look professional. Like it's
no taking photos while you're doing your craft, right?
Yeah.
And it's something very visual, so it makes sense. Now, this is the part where we're able to plug in your business a little bit. So, for example, if I'm trying to get a tattoo, how can I find more information about your business? How can I reach out to you? Is it through social media, or are there any websites you'd like to share?
Honestly, the best way you can reach me is text me.
Yeah.
I'm busy. I have kids. If you message me on social media, I'll get to you. But, it's really easy to just go to Austin, Texas Tattoos on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or the website. And my phone number is everywhere. Or you can call me. But if you'd like, I do have on Austin, Texas Tattoos, there's an online consultation, and that'll help me really provide a quote. It'll ask you, what days of the week, what style you're looking for, what your budget is, when you want to get the project started. So it gives me like all the information I need to get back to you and provide a quote and actually schedule something solid with you.
Yeah. So there you go. Y'all heard it here, folks. Text message or phone call is the most. And also through Austin, Texas Tattoos, you can find the phone number, the information, as well as the links to Instagram and Facebook. And so thank you so much for sharing your story, Elizabeth. We've known each other for quite a while now, and I learned some new things about you, some genuine things, right? And it's the stories that we want to highlight, the reality of what small business owners face. And also like the success stories, which is the things you get to celebrate at the end of the day. So thanks again for being with me today. This is it for the episode. It's been a complete pleasure chatting with you. And I hope you all listening in the audience find this episode useful or inspiring to you. If you know someone who could benefit from it, please share the link with the episode with them. And remember that La Incubadora Podcast is part of the Economic Growth Business Incubator, a small business incubator in Central Texas that offers training, coaching, and support to small business owners with facing barriers to achieving success. So if you'd like to learn more about EGBI services, please visit our website, egbi.org, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks again, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much.